Today we're diving into an epic battle between the Terminator M2X and the Loop Gear SK05 Pro. Let's see which one shines bright and which one flickers under pressure. First up is the Ace-Beam Terminator M2X, which is the second iteration of the Terminator M2. And unlike the M1 Terminator, this does have a spot beam LED, but it is not an LEP. It's compact, tough, and ready for action. But this little guy has a bit of a personality. Think of it as the flashlight equivalent of your overcomplicated coffee machine. It's good, but you'll need the manual, and probably every time. The first problem is holding this thing. When you pull it out of your pocket, it's like, trying to find these two buttons is fairly complicated. You really have to grip it just right for this thing to not feel like you're holding a Rubik's Cube. And speaking of Rubik's Cubes, the UI is a bit of a mystery as well. Want to know if you're in spot or flood mode? Good luck. There is no indicator or any switch that shows you what mode you're going to turn the flashlight on in. You basically just have to remember what mode it was in when you turned it off, or it's going to be a surprise. And if your memory is as bad as mine, good luck remembering. The moonlight mode? Yeah, so let's talk about the moonlight mode. If you have the flashlight on in flood mode and you turn it off, then you hold the tail switch, you will get that 1 lumen moonlight mode, which is perfect for not blinding yourself. But if you turn this thing off in spotlight mode and you try to get to the moonlight setting, boom. Say hello to 62,500 candela of retina searing regret. I hope you weren't looking directly at the flashlight because that is going to hurt. So if you don't remember what mode you turn this off in, I suggest you don't activate that moonlight mode unless you're ready for a flashbang simulation with the spot beam. And as for a turbo, if you double click the side button, you do get 3200 lumens and it activates both set of LEDs. So you're gonna get spot beam of 500 meters and the flood beam. And that combined turbo with both LEDs is only going to last you about 110 seconds. When it comes to charging, you do get USB-C charging, which is cool, right? Well, not really. You have to actually take the battery out of the flashlight and then plug in the battery with the USB-C charger. That kind of takes something simple like charging your flashlight and makes it a little more complicated, especially if you're trying to pull this out in somewhere that's a little bit wet. You're gonna get your battery soaking wet trying to get that into the charger. Now let's talk about the SK05 Pro from Loop Gear. First thing you're gonna notice is that RGB side light, which is really cool. This thing isn't just a flashlight, it's a portable party. We're talking about 8 different colors, 7 different modes, everything from warm white to color chasing RGB, rainbow RGB functions, all controlled from a very easy to use single button. Need an emergency red and blue strobe while you're out? Simply triple click, and this is going to bring up the red and blue emergency mode. But here is where the SK05 really shines, the rotary dial. This thing is a game changer. It lets you switch between the RGB side light, a flood beam, a spot beam, and a manual lockout with ease. That means no more accidental misfires while you're carrying this in your pocket, while you're hiking, while you're working. You're not going to press this and turn it on in your pocket. Plus with the dial, you'll always know what mode you're in. You can adjust it without turning the LEDs on, and it's like having a flashlight that actually respects your decisions. Oh, and check this out. As you rotate the dial, the battery level indicator actually pops up right here on the side light. And I know that's a small detail, but it's one that makes you go, why didn't anybody think of this before? Now let's compare the numbers. The Terminator M2X packs 3200 lumens and 500 meters of throw in the turbo mode. But the Loop Gear SK05 actually offers 4,360 lumens with 405 meters of throw. With the SK05 Pro, you can actually dim the brightness of the spot beam. The SK05 does have built-in USB-C charging, and it actually runs off of 2 18650s. You're going to get 6 hours of runtime on high and 20 days of runtime on low, which is 50 lumens. And when it comes to the M2, well, you're going to be charging it a lot more. And did I mention that the SK05 Pro is actually a USB-C portable power bank? It lets you charge your phone or other devices at up to 20 watts of output. And the LED side lights even animate the power leaving the flashlight or the power coming in. Meanwhile, the Ace-Beam charges its one battery slowly and, well, awkwardly. So what's the verdict? The Terminator M2 is compact, bright, and full of potential if you're willing to put up with its quirks, but the Loop Gear SK05, it's user-friendly, innovative, packed with features, and it makes it a joy to use. If I had to pick just one, I'm picking the SK05 all day. With better aux lights, a rotary dial, insane run times. Oh, and yeah, it's a portable power bank. But you know what? Don't just take my word for it. Let me know in the comments, which one would you pick? And if you enjoyed this showdown, hit the like button, click subscribe, turn on the notifications for more flashlight drama. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.